pretty good.
Nice. Okay. Okay, well, so what's the latest news? How is everything?
Latest news is I feel like Diamond is getting pretty easy for me right now. Like I'm just not playing enough that I feel very confident that I can climb out of it. I'm Diamond one, and
Oh, it's
yeah, I
good.
don't really have too many troubles. So using your concepts, it's really just improving my overall. I was going to say understanding of the game, which is true, but I feel like my so to speak fight IQ is getting a lot better. So I don't need as much time to process things, and yeah, I'm just really enjoying my time playing the game
Yeah, yeah,
because I always
exactly.
know what to improve.
Yeah, yeah, that's what matters, to be honest. You can always start slow and good in just trying to search for information, or maybe there's something else what you're trying to do. You just always start slow and good, and then later you build up the speed with the more playtime. It just, a lot of players, they just think that they gotta be fast right away, but no, you just need, it's like doing any other sport or whatever. They always tell you, start with slow, good technique, and then
Yeah.
it's gonna be fine. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what have you been practicing as of latest?
Well, last time we talked more about the homework was kind of to focus more on the win conditions
Oh yeah.
of like the ultimates. But
Hmm.
actually, I found for myself that even though I did think that was important, I felt that what was more important for me at the time was to kind of go back to one of our earlier lessons. I think it was even the first one about kill zone.
Yeah. Killzone.
Um,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, because I noticed that I was still struggling with like too often my tendency would be to kind of just focus on the back line. Even though I would think that my teammates could shoot that back line, they wouldn't. And then I was analyzing my games a little bit, and I just saw that I was just too far removed from what was the focus of my team. So ever since I've been focusing more on the kill zone, I feel
Nice.
like things have improved quite a bit.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, that is the usual thing on the tank. To be honest, you just need to absorb the effective pressure so you're not too far away. You actually, especially with the dive characters, you can dive in deeper, maybe go on isolated targets too, but they just, when those are really killable for the most part, yeah, you're just recognizing those moments. But mostly, yeah, you just need to contribute to the kill zone, pull the attention towards you, and you're good.
Yeah, so that was really insightful for me, just
Mm.
doing more of that.
Yeah, yeah, okay, okay. Well, Ultimate, so you've been not practicing that as much yet.
Not too much. I
Not too
think
much.
I do pay attention to mainly enemy support ultimates, but not too much to the win conditions of my team. So let's say, I don't know, like a big Star-Lord ultimate, for
Hmm.
example.
That's all right. That's all right. That is something probably what we can focus on. You can specifically focus on later. Yeah, it's okay. Maybe you can also elaborate on that later too. But yeah, for the most part, but achieving the highest rank is definitely one of the biggest things because ultimates are really powerful, especially in this game. So yeah,
Yeah,
need to
I
keep
think that's a
going.
big difference in typically I tend to lose games where my teammates are just not as good as using their ultimates as the opponent is
All right. So
on the
then,
whole.
yeah, 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 yeah. No, it's understandable. Of course, you cannot control your teammates that much, but I think what matters is just how you act, depending on information. So you have the ability to just contribute to what your team does, and at the same time, you as a tank can absorb pressure on the from the enemy team, just knowing what they have, and then we can start absorbing all of this, try to force them to do something, basically. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I've been trying to do mostly, just trying to force out ultimates.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, exactly. So kill zones, right? Is there anything else would you been trying to apply?
I've been also focusing on the concept of I'm not sure how you called it, but just trying to hit tab and thinking about two or
Yeah,
more enemies that
scouting.
I want to keep track of before even the fight starts. So I know what to look for, and then if I can kind of predict where they can be, I can already just pressure them and hopefully deny them a good position.
Yeah, 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 yeah. This is mostly just scouting. Scouting, it's
Scouting, yeah.
all about, yeah, it's usually the first step in any of the fights. Just trying to gather information. You can do it multiple ways. So yeah, pressing tab, I think initially can help you out quite a lot. It's just understanding, creating the mind map, yeah, where the threats are, and this makes a big difference. Okay,
It
what
does. Wow, it really does.
yeah. What do you struggle with right now?
It's hard for me to say because I feel like my games last week went pretty kind of like well on the whole. Like, of course, we had some losses that I think were unpreventable because, again, random element. But on the whole, I was definitely had like a 60+% win rate.
That's good. Yeah, you just should keep playing with this win rate, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm just going to keep it up and hopefully try and play a bit more too if I can, and we'll see where we go.
Yeah. Ideally, just the most comfortable win rate around 60-65%. If you have that win rate, there's no problem. Just keep playing, and we usually can go from there. There might be some problems where you drop the win rate a little, and then you just need maybe some more attention towards something. That's okay though. Okay, so there's been not too much struggle as of recent.
Not too many struggles, no. Just
Okay.
learning well and trying to use the concepts that you gave me, and just applying them as best as I can.
Okay. I see now notes. We also talked about interleaved practice. Did you have a chance to apply that? Remember that model?
Yeah, I kind of go back and forth between. So I made some notes for myself that I have like on a piece of paper that I can look at before prior to any game, and it could be stuff like hit tab before and after every fight.
Yeah.
I had like another one like kill what's in the kill zone, take good angles, and then I had another one that we didn't really discuss too much, but I noticed that sometimes I do this. Was try to let's say the enemy's routing, like we win a fight and the enemy's kind of retreating, there's like 2-3 retreating. I can sometimes push in a bit too hard, or rather like use too many spells to try and get them. Rather, I think it would be better if I would try and use them without using any spells, so I'm fresh to go for the next team fight.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And then I would kind of go bounce back and forth between these 4 concepts that I had written down for myself.
Okay. It sounds good. Yeah, sounds really good. So, reaching GM really soon, I think.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it feels when I play quick play also, it was really weird. Like I always get like GM players and sometimes even Celestial players now on my team, which is odd. Even though our team is technically worse, so I'm not sure if the algorithm is pointing out me to be the better player. I don't really feel that good, but I don't fucking know, man.
Yeah, probably yeah. If you're playing versus high MMR, the game just sees you as a high MMR, so it's just testing your skill against the high MMR, and then it goes.
Well, that's pretty cool, then. I guess. I mean, that's your work, man. To be honest.
Well, most of it is your work, but yeah, it's good.
It's fun, man.
All right. So, what do we want to focus on today, then? Is there anything maybe any?
Yeah. So I have a few questions for you, and then you can say like, okay, this sounds like something you need to fix, or this is like more fundamental, or something.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of you can use your expertise.
Yeah.
So I had 3 games. One of them was my first Psylocke game, where I was outperforming, I feel like, the enemy DPS, and I had highest damage, but again, stats don't really matter, so who cares? But I didn't quite clutch it, though, even though I felt like in my mind, I was playing better, but probably I was doing some things wrong. Then ultimately, I do want to kind of be a bit more of a flex player, even though I want to be able to have tank as my main, but if needed, I do want to be able to flex to another class and kind of do decent. Like, not amazing, but good enough. So that's one option that we have.
Yeah, we can do that. Just keep in mind, it's just something you want to be careful with the playtime. 100%. It's just if you ever see that maybe you not able to play as much, I usually highly suggest just one role is the best. But yeah, even me, I remember when I was playing a lot, sometimes, yes, there were times when I'm just, okay, let's play DPS, but it was really, really rare, to be honest. Even in the games like Overwatch 2, yeah, like people that will tell you, there are always people complaining, like on Reddit or somewhere, like 6 DPS, and this is the same thing right now, like what do we do? It is not possible to play in reality. The most of it is just, you need to adjust the playstyle, you have the better skill set, and then you climb towards the rank. That's it.
So what's kind of weird for me and this is why I'm considering flexing, is that the free support meta are still like really alive in like the lower ranks. So sometimes I just get free heals, and I'm like, okay, this is probably not going to work. I can't do enough DPS as tank. So then I like, okay, maybe if I just got extra DPS to kind of clutch it. That's kind of my thinking.
Yeah, well, again, do what you enjoy the most. Again, if you find it valuable, then it's fine. I'm always gonna tell it's more consistent the long term. You have one role, but it's all again. You have to do it based on all odds you enjoy more as well. And I think it's completely fine if you also flex on DPS sometimes and play that. Just make sure ideally most of your time is dedicated towards the main role.
The main role,
that's
sure.
that's it. The idea is that. So if the
Well, based
80%,
on that,
yeah.
then I would just say like, okay, well, we're definitely going to go for like a Hulk or Magneto game. And considering you've seen my Hulk already a bunch, I do think I am curious about
Magneto.
what I could have done better. But let's focus on Magneto. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I think too, because we did a lot of sessions on Hulk already. We could potentially, it's also okay, I think, if we do the more sessions later, we could definitely also talk about DPS, there's no problem, just something... What's your playtime currently, by the way? Just curious. How many?
A bit more, thankfully, than it was the past 2 weeks prior to the that. So I would say, what am I getting on average? Just trying to do the math in my head real quick. Well, actually, I guess real slow.
Mhm.
2, 4. I would say about 8 to 10 hours a week.
8 to 10 hours per week. Well,
Yeah.
in this playtime, I usually suggest one roll is the best. If you have more,
Okay. Yeah. It's not a huge amount of time. I see.
yeah, it's not a huge amount of time. There are people out there investing insane amount of hours. I even tell them, you gotta play less because this is just insane amount of hours, and then they lose the
Yeah.
focus. It's like some people they tell 40 hours or like 50. It's just a lot. Like how many
Wow,
hours
like
you
a
play?
full-time job.
Yeah,
That's
like
amazing.
full-time job exactly. Just the game's new. Yeah, so a lot of people do enjoy those. Obviously, there are also pro players out there that play a lot, but yeah, it's just something to keep in mind. Okay, then let's focus on Magneto. I think
Yeah. Let's do it.
we can talk about that, and I'm gonna screen share. Hey, can you see it?
Yeah.
Right, so this is Calm Midtown. Actually, really good map for Magneto, I find, because you have a lot
I
of
carry
long
the hardest on
sightlines.
Magneto, I must say, on average. I feel because I have more influence or impact in the game than I do with my other tanks.
Yeah, you phrase it this way, then yeah, just you got in the map, what it allows you to do, whenever we have the map with long sightlines, and you just, because you're able to control multiple lanes at a time, usually the tanks with the long range, they kind of shine a little bit more. Their maps, I'm thinking, yeah, this map definitely is more open. The third point, however, there are some chokes somewhere where you can just play more of a brawl tanks, but yeah, there's definitely in favor
Yeah.
on this Magneto overall. Okay, let's see what we do. Okay, so we start in the main, and then there's just general poking. Yeah, just poke, 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 poke,
Yeah.
poke. Okay. So, by the way, let's just talk about the same as we did on Hulk. I think we talked about the first your setup. Let me see. Yeah, we talked about the kill zone, fight for the kill zone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot about that. Rotations was our second lesson. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's okay. So let's just talk about the basics then on this tank, this Magneto. Okay, so your job as a tank is to make sure you just take space. Yeah, you control space. Okay. Now the question is, how do you do that as a Magneto? What are your resources to be able to do so?
My resources. Well, I would first of all say just like my general cover positioning that I take in. So the sight lines and the cover that I have. So in this case, hugging the wall and being able to look very far down that lane. Number one.
Yeah. What kind of cooldowns allow you to just actively pressure the enemy, and how do you use them usually? What is that about?
Right. So if I'm meeting being pressured, I can always put up my shield. I think that's 1.5 seconds at this point. And in case they still keep pushing, I have a little bubble that I can use.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, I can still be healed. And depending on the character, thing I can't use it against, but otherwise I can push them away with my right click to create a bit
Yeah,
more space.
yeah, exactly. Mostly, your pressure evolves around your right click. Simply that you're kind of going offensive. Yeah, using offensive ability, trying to disrupt somebody, and just your mouse one. That's it. So my question to you: you're trying all of this pressure right now and starting at the choke. Is it the most effective position where you can actually keep pressuring their backline, or could you be anywhere else?
Backline, no. So I was curious about this, to be honest. Like I wasn't sure how offensive my angle should be. So
Mhm.
I can take two angles if I wanted to, and that are better for attacking the backline, which
Yep.
would be going up to the bridge, which I can walk up to from spawn.
Yeah. The right side there. Yeah, possibly.
Or right side, or even left side, by the way.
Yeah,
What I was
yeah.
referring to, yeah, on
This
that
is
side,
also
yeah.
possible. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
So I could be up here, or I could be like lower, but
Mhm.
more of a sharper angle. So kind of you go through the building a little bit, and there's a little mid kit.
Possibly. But see,
It's my least favorite of the three, but yes.
you still, yeah, exactly. You still have a battle over you when you have
Yeah.
the high ground position, and this what Magneto is about. There's just no downside in you going up. You literally staying down there, limiting yourself right now, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we just want to have more options of what to do. I also forgot. Did you play Overwatch like Sigma?
I quit Overwatch before Sigma came, but I do kind of know his playstyle.
Yeah, so this is exactly the thing. It's literally the same thing you gotta do to Sigma. You don't have any mobility, you just take the position which in the range, and usually you just need to be around the top. You don't want to stay down main like a lot of people do. You just need to have good sideline and keep rushing the enemy. Think about your offensive ability like a way for you to push the enemy out, and your defensive is to actually enable yourself to stay in the angle. So think about your defensive ability, just your shield, your bubbles, they can allow you to stay on the position. Just maintain the position. Okay? So if the attention goes to you, then you can always bubble and shield yourself. Or you can also bubble or shield one of your teammates. So see, like now the positioning here, it's kind of a little bit too passive there. We not maybe even necessarily forcing the attention on us. And see, there's kind of...
I thought you said that. That was good. So trying to get into a position where you force the attention.
Yeah, exactly. Bait them to, because you're tanking. Yeah, you need to bait their attention. But now there's just not much attention going towards us. And see how your stacks are kind of sitting there. So maybe you're not finding the perfect use for it, but you don't need it. You just need to force them to make a stupid play, so you shut it down. Use your stacks, and later you bubble yourself, you get the stacks back, and you can just have the high uptime this way. Some people also have the uptime. Well, maybe you don't have time to set up. Yes, they can kind of just walk forward, use the stacks, use the bubble. But for a city, if you're able to, you always can look to set up and the position, take something in the map. Let me see. Do I have some examples? I don't think there are a lot of good Magnetos out there. Well, at least I didn't find too many. But yeah, they're still like Fincy, maybe Nevix. I watch them. It's just sometimes they do take angles, sometimes they don't. I think they can do it slightly more. But yeah, I can show you this probably against this map. I think especially the second point, you have a lot of long sightlines. The first point is more forgiving. Maybe you can't do much with this, but second, this is gonna be really important. Okay, let's just watch. I think starting... Yeah, I think they start swapping later. Yeah. This is when they swap right now. And this is Nevix, Overwatch League player. They are actually playing DPS most of the time. Been playing DPS, but now it seems they also do play a lot of tank too. Okay, so we can see them swap into Magneto, and instantly what we see is they try to take the position, which allows you to have this butt angle. Yeah, so your idea with the positions is just try... How do we let's just say you kind of... it's not always gonna be the case, but you're kind of trying to lean towards those 90 angles, because your team is gonna maybe move somewhere down there in the main, and you can have this angle A, for example, and just keep diverting their attention this way. You can, for example, in your case, yeah, if I'm staying on this top left, this creates like 90 angle while my team is going all the way there. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe your team will go with you as well, which is okay, to be honest. But at least you're trying to aim towards the setting up on that off angle. Okay, let's just call that. Yeah, set up on off angles, but it's usually softer. Yeah, compared to the Hulk. Hulk, you can go really deep. You have a lot of mobility. As Magneto, you don't have that. So set up on off angles, usually closer to your team, but you still do that. And additionally, yeah, verticality can give you more options on what to do on the map. So you see them a lot of times, they will try to take the top, and see, they use the abilities to just enable themselves, because they pull a lot of attention because they do this. Like a lot of people, they would just go down main, but they actually try to fight this power position too. They use their defensive, maybe use the bubble, shield, stuff like that. There are times when you can't go down main and there's no other choice, so you have big advantage. But yeah, usually we're always aiming towards the good positions, like here. Yeah, they maybe don't have too much choice, but try to pressure here. But then eventually, again, we'll see them taking the position, and even later, you will see them just instead of constantly playing on the main, they will try to lean the most of their attention is gonna be on those positions with verticality, with just this off angles, and they need to deal with important positions. Yeah, this is something what we wanna control first. Okay,
Got it.
so this Magneto, they wanna, of course, because they wanna have uptime, they also maybe move in potentially to main, but later the most of their attention is gonna be here, so they'll shut down the most important pressure, and this is what the good teams do. Actually, they will typically will not stack down main the higher you go. They will try to control this side, and right now you actually gonna be free in taking that, but later the enemy will actually challenge you. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Just right now it seems like really free. Like all the people stuck down main, don't know why, but yeah.
It's like, oh, big room, let's go inside.
Yeah. They just all of them playing the main street. Give yourself more opportunities what to do. Yeah, you just go somewhere. Yeah, does it make sense? The idea was off angle, verticality, or yeah, any questions?
Makes complete sense. Yeah, no, makes sense.
Yeah, okay, let's keep going then. And there's a lot about just with what do we do about our abilities, and see, it's just your pressure. I think it's not that you gotta shoot something what's more killable as well. It's just you don't giving yourself access to, because you don't have the positions, you're constantly able to shoot the thing only. But if we could be shooting the backline, then it kind of pushes them
I was
back
looking for moments of that, but I couldn't get it until now, I think.
Yeah, just because you're not the best position. See all the stuff you do, you could have done here.
Yeah. Holy shit!
All the
once
shots.
you look at that position, it's just so obvious that it's superior.
Yeah, it's just like, why do they stay here if it can stay up there? Yeah. It's just no reason, and it also makes it easier for you to align the shots too. So you constantly keep applying pressure. Right.
Yeah, this time I went more on the thing, so I have a question about that. So the thing kind of jumped in, and he was really like in the kill zone.
Oh, yeah.
And before I would be like, no, I got to keep focusing more on the back line because that's more important. But if the thing is this close, it is better to just hit him.
I think it's okay. Yeah, if he's that low HP and he is also this quarter there, so you can keep shooting him. And he used one of his, I think he used his charge there. Yeah. So yeah. So it's even better. You can focus on him. He only has this E to escape. Yeah. So I think it's alright. Later you will keep shooting the backline. It's okay. Yeah. You see, this guy is literally body blocking you. You can't just go. And this guy he cannot get to you. Actually, he will never get to you, and will never be able to punch you unless there's a teammate with him. So he's gonna use his E and then take the position. You just no downside. Okay, yeah, let's just maybe play like we're kind of just on this position.
Yeah, making the same mistakes over and over.
Yeah, so over and over the same thing. Okay, eventually able to push them out using ultimates. That makes sense. Yeah, this is good. They're more aggressive. Yeah, so you can shut them down a little bit more. And you can space pushing up. Sure. Yeah, searching for
the cloak.
Yeah, for the cloak. Okay.
I was just a little slow. I didn't expect them to go in like this, but it's fine.
That's alright. Okay, okay, well, it's an interesting decision. By the way, keep in mind the small things, such as might be a cool thing to think about. If you really want to focus on that kill zone, and there's a guy over there, well, first off, maybe it's even easier for you to kill them right now, but you can also, if they're further away, you can actually block the heals with your shield too. Keep that in mind. So, you can...
Yeah, that's a good one.
But, to be honest, I think you just probably kill them. Just do something with your stacks, and it's gonna be easier. Yeah, you eventually notice them.
I thought in my mind at the time, we were like full team. Surely we can get the thing, and the answer was no.
Yeah, it's just the game. This game has a lot of sustain. So it's just you have to prioritize the supports even more a lot of times. Okay, so what are we thinking about this position? What's your thoughts? So taking the
I
left side.
am pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think better would be on the right side with the med kit there. But as things are going,
Like go
considering the time, I
here.
had to sit. Yes, I would rather be more there. Maybe not as deep, but rather on that side, I guess.
Well, you could. I think it is decent enough too. You don't have as much open space to work with. You see, your angles, it has to be ideally verticality and long range, or like mid range.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say like not long, or like sniper, but just more of a mid-range. This position allows you to do so, so technically that's okay. You can just have this off angle while the rest of your team is pushing. So here, I'm away from my core and off angle, and this is main. This is your kind of first lane here, this is main lane, and this is the third one here. You
Yeah.
would maybe set up here as more of a brawl character more, I think, because you just have the, it's just the uptime, you know, the Magneto, you need the
So
uptime is long range. Yeah.
yeah, so you would say that the right side that I first suggested is better suited for like a brawler because it's further away, so you need more mobility, and also because it's kind of like closer together. You can't see as
Yeah,
much at the
yeah,
same time.
you cannot get poked. As a role character, you need to get close. This position allows you to get close without getting poked. This position is open space. We need open space on the characters who are able to capitalize on it, who need to poke. Yeah, you're a poke character, so using
Mm-hmm.
that more. Usually, you can maybe be okay like here, but it takes time to get there. Right now, you're fighting for
Yeah.
this side, so you're probably starting there, and later you actually can think about just swinging on the right. I think it's not too bad. Even just try to go deeper later, but it's all depends. So this is okay. Okay, so we just keeping the pressure from this angle. I think this is looking alright. Just more potential, more attention, and this is just not as easy, I think, but you just keeping constant pressure on that one target, like thinking what I'm trying to force out, really, like what are you trying to bait, and just not only shooting what's in front of you. Like, see, right now you're kind of switching, sometimes shooting the penny, sometimes you shoot that backline, but just kind of
Yeah.
be more direct. Yeah, constant pressure, poke one target. Yeah, and force something. Yeah, keep in mind what I'm forcing. Remember, we're talking about bait their attention, yeah, bait their cooldowns. Okay, we mentioned that defensive cooldowns allow you to stay in the position. Yeah, because they look at you, so the attention is turned towards you. Look at you, and pressure you. Let's say, yeah, they pressure
Mm-hmm.
you. You use your defensive cooldowns, but you can also think about what I'm trying to just force on their side when I'm using my offensive cooldowns. So if you
Mm-hmm.
look at it, what are the cooldowns you can be forcing potentially?
Well, they have no ultimates, so all that can be forcing is, in Sue's case or Invisible Girl's case, is her invisibility double jump thing. Cloak and Dagger, it's the I don't know, the invisible disappear thing that she
Yeah,
does.
yeah,
And
exactly.
Mantis would probably be stun, although I doubt
Mm.
she'll stun me from this range.
Yeah. Exactly. So all of that, it just requires more consistent pressure. If you look at it, I look at this Invisible Woman now. There's still some ability sitting there, like the E, maybe their shift. Like make them use those. So they just make sure the more direct pressure, need more consistent pressure, instead of just choosing the one. Oh, kind of switching between targets. Just like make sure you poke, okay, then switch, okay, again, poke, keep
To be honest,
poking.
I just had that. I was like trying to focus on Invisible Girl, but Penny was walking in front. I'm like, okay, cool. I guess I'm hitting Penny now.
Yeah, this is exactly like what you wanna pay attention to. It's kind of tough a lot of times just with swapping because the shots maybe it might feel not as, because you're playing tank, you also don't have like as big damage output. But actually, if you hit the shots, then there's quite a lot of damage you can
Yeah,
do.
I think so
So
too.
this is important. Also, let me see when you've been shooting. Yeah, so those shots. Yeah, actually aim at the feet. I think it's fine. Just kind of aim at the middle or the hitbox, you're gonna be okay. It's usually easier to hit the shots this way because you don't have the headshot damage, so it's alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And sure, kind of disciplined with the shield too. Yeah, I think it's alright. The angle's been good for the most part there. Okay.
Yeah, no, I wasn't too sure what to do about that, and I was like, let me just ignore it and go for something else.
Yeah. I think it's alright. Yeah, you guys should be okay. Later. Okay, where do we move? Take it to the left side. Yeah, what do you think?
I'm quite a fan of this.
Yeah, I think it's decent. You see how you force them like a lot to just play really far, and you have this long
Yeah.
sideline to control the space. Now the rest of your team, they can easily take the space, like short range angles. They're not getting poked like that Thor. They're not getting poked. You just keep poking by yourself, and your teammates, they have the sidelines and you. It's alright. This is great angle. You eventually might just contest the top later too. But now just kind of keep poking. Staying in the main for now, it's good enough if there's no other choice, and maybe you recognize there's an easy kill, so yeah, you can keep pushing, keep taking space, I think, why not? Okay, we got the thing out, yeah. Now, this is where your thought process, you wanna be careful with how far you go.
Yes, I noticed. I was like, I'm probably going pretty deep right now.
Yeah, because we have your team behind, and this is an enclosed space you play around. So I
Yeah.
would rather, let me think. Well, this might be. Well, I'm thinking where else you could play. Well, what do you think? Is there any other, anything else you could be doing? Like, is it good enough? Because
Well, I don't like this position because I can't, or my healers don't have sight lines of me. So yeah, this happens.
yeah,
I was really sad about the Thor because I was hoping to use the bubble on myself and I had to use it on
yeah,
him to save it. Anyway, that's beside the point.
yeah,
So in future, I would prefer to sit kind of either in the doorway right there on the right side of your screen, or even a
yeah,
bit further
yeah.
um, at the corner here, kind of. There's exactly here.
Maybe. There's still an enclosed space you want to be careful about. If you have decent distance and if you're already fighting for this, I think this one is possible. But that's what is uncomfortable. If you in enclosed space like this one, I mentioned just short range space is not for you when you play Magneto
Yeah.
most of the time. Thor, he's okay with that, but you shouldn't be there. So in this case, even playing main is alright at the start, but then later you can keep rotating just down the stairs probably and maybe open up the angle, but it's still
So
kind of
would you
awkward.
say standing, yeah, exactly. So at the bottom of that staircase, kind of up on the outside,
Yeah.
so kind of across from where I'm standing right now, you'd say that is not good because the room that's beside it, because I would be standing outside the room, in line of sight my healers is what I was thinking.
Yeah, but again, it's line of sight, but the most important, it's also enclosed space. So the other characters, like the Thing, or maybe there's gonna be Penny, they have an advantage versus you. So unless you have a distance,
Okay, so the danger is if they decide to push me inside the room where it's enclosed,
yeah,
I'm at a disadvantage,
yeah.
and that's not good.
Yeah, this is what happens because this angle, close range angles, are really close. That's why they punish you.
Yeah.
So the Star-Lord, Penny, the Thing, they punish you there. If they have a distance, like I think they play really far, then you able to. So you will not be using this. You will be rotating here. Yeah, this is good space now. Yeah, but it's not good if I'm starting here and they really close to me to this room. So
Okay, so if they fall back where they can't really easily threaten me, then it would be better to take this angle. But if they're still close as they are now, better to fall back a bit more.
Yeah. Then you're gonna just play
Nice.
main. You just start playing.
Yeah.
If they close, holding that choke, which probably should be doing, they should be marking both sides. I really rarely see people taking the right side for some reason, but yeah, it's another lane. You can take it. It exists. Actually, really good space to use, and we just need to keep that in mind. Most likely, start with the main. If they're really close, holding left side, right side, and then you break through. And later, you can try to do something right side. Just this good long range angle all the way here. This is your space. Really good. Left side. Well, later, not too much of a. Actually, yeah. Actually, there's a good angle. You can maybe just other when you have troubles breaking through the choke. Just do that. It's always if you ever notice. Yeah, I don't think you're ever gonna notice. There's never gonna be the thing like you always will find a different angle of attack to break through the choke. So yeah, definitely watch that. Make sure this is possible. But yeah, it's really close now. And yeah, let's see what's gonna happen next. So get punished, and now it's even more important because you had an ultimate. So I think you cannot get killed there. Your ultimate is really, really important in influencing the fight. This might, well, what do you
No,
think?
no, no, no. This is mega bad. Like,
I'm also actually thinking, it's one of the possibilities. Think about your ultimate, because it pulls you up. Okay,
yeah.
it's really similar to what Sig does in Overwatch as well. When they use their ultimate, the flux, it just pulls people up and then throws them down on the ground. Here, you're actually able to go up as Magneto too. So I'm actually thinking the ultimate can allow you to take an angle as well. You see, like, what if I start with an ultimate and then I go here and just sit there, have the long sideline. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's possible. It's actually possible. Just don't
I've
stay in
never
the
thought about it like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
just don't stay in the short range space. Ultimate can also allow you to set up. You don't always have to walk. If there's kind of favorable high ground to take on some maps, I think that's gonna be the case. Like maps, I'm thinking new maps, Central Park actually might be a good one. Midtown, yeah, I think the first point, third point, there's more opportunities for you to take vertical space, so you can take advantage of that too. Yeah, definitely don't just hold the ultimate, wait for the big damage, and see there's not much big damage either. So I can think about the setup with ultimate too. That's
I
okay.
still struggle a little bit with Magneto Ultimate just because I feel like it's so easily, like, it announces itself so much. So more often than not, if I use it proactively, I feel like it just disperses the enemy team and nothing else really happens.
Well, this is exactly how it's gonna be at the I tier. Most of the time they will avoid your ultimate, to be
Yeah.
honest. But think about it, like what allows your teammates to do and what it baits. Yeah, remember we're talking about baiting the big stuff. If I use my ultimate now, or maybe, well, not exactly, maybe slightly later, but yeah, let's say you do it now. What you can force? What you can force the enemy to do?
I can force out, well, probably like a penny ultimate because they're like, oh my god, there's some damage coming in. Let me do some damage as well, or potentially a Star Lord if he's alive.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, you can pretty much just force out all their mobility. They most likely will hide around unfavorable areas, and see, because they hide, you also might make it easy for your team to push. So it's not too bad. I would probably wait for the rest of your backline to get closer though before you do that.
I was in my mind thinking surely they're closer to the payload than this,
Yeah.
but they weren't. It's just me just being a numpty because I could have looked through the walls.
Yeah. So it's kind of just scout, and then when your backline is closed, then you actually can go in and you can announce. It's fine, but because you do that, then the rest of your teammates, they will be pushing the stuff. Yeah, all of those guys hiding in unfavorable space. You just can actually punish them later. It's completely fine. Definitely, you can absorb a lot of pressure, so it's usually you start with aggressive angle because you have ultimate. Pressure goes to you. You start using the ultimate. You start absorbing projectiles, and you can live because of it. Because you did absorb the pressure, you probably baited the enemy to go on you, and because you did, you also have higher probability of a kill. If you didn't, then, well, you still force out even more abilities, which is good. That's why, like, I suggest use your ultimate, leverage your ultimate, like, allow yourself to be more aggressive with this and go for more interesting setup. Yeah, just defensive. So let's just say resources. So it's gonna be cooldowns, ultimate. It allows you to take more interesting space, allows you to take more aggressive position, kind of deeper angles. Yeah, if that makes sense. Yeah, does it make sense?
Yes, and you also said something about I think mentioning it to my team that I had ultimate to force them to push in more. Is that what you said? Like if I'm planning on using my ultimate, I should mention that to my teammates so that they will use that opportunity to push in more.
Well, you don't have to mention. You can if you want to, but ideally,
Yeah.
first off, make sure you scout if they actually able to go in. This is the most important. You just act
Yeah.
depending on the visuals, and then you can do something with your ultimate, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, just watching. Are we able to do something? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do you have any questions about this part? Or maybe we can just watch the. We can watch the defense. Do you wanna watch defense?
I think I might. I think I switched to defense or something else. I might have gone. I forget. I'm not sure if I play mags, if I'm honest. But you can check.
Yeah. Yeah, unless you want to still look at another replay, if you have any other. But if not, yeah, we can look at the defense a little bit more. And this is where again the setup is gonna be important. I think, well, it's maybe not bad to try to sit sometimes on the main, but if there's no other choice, or like if you do not have a advantage somewhere, yeah, if you have big advantage, I think it's fine. But yeah, what do you think? Is there a better spot for us to start with
Well,
potentially?
just as with the offense, I could take high ground. Now, I will say that instantly when I talk about taking high ground on defense, I kind of feel a little bit reluctant to do so, just because if there's no tank there, I know my teammates will either feed or just fall back very far,
But
and that's why I'm a little bit.
why do they feed? Why there's a high chance for them to feed if you're staying on low ground?
It's kind of how
I
these
mean, sorry,
games
high
go.
ground.
I'm not. Yeah, so kind of go because they're like, oh, the shield slash buffer tank guy is gone. I'm going to take either his place and play too far forward, or I'm
Yeah.
going to be so afraid that he's not there, I'm going to play very far backwards.
Yeah, exactly. And this is common misconception. You need, if this happens, that means you're just not absorbing the active pressure, you're not as active on the angle. You don't want to stay in the main unless there's a big reason. You just need to constantly keep the attention because you force the enemy to do something. They go on you. Imagine I'm sitting here, I'm really annoying, or like I even sit here, I'm really annoying, force these guys to go on me, and then your team sees that, they capitalize over it. That's what you want. You don't want to just kind of sit
I
passively.
love this. I love this. This is
Yeah.
great. Okay, I'll
You,
keep that in mind.
yeah, you don't want to sit passively somewhere and just kind of, oh, okay, I guess my team, they're able to control space, and then they don't, and then they tell you, oh, where's the tank, but then you've been not doing much. Yeah, you just force them to do something. Yeah, stay, like we do in Hulk. You just have the mobility, but this Magneto, you don't. You have a lot of sustain as Magneto, so use the sustain and play close angles as well.
Yeah.
But there's no downside. You're shooting the choke. You can still shoot the choke from here. You see, like,
No, it's good. So I like that the argument is because I guess in my mind I had this assumption that I should just be kind of near the front, and if I'm not, my teammate's going to
yeah,
just do dumb stuff. But as long as I'm sitting somewhere else where I'm taking the majority of the attention of the enemy, I'm doing a good job.
yeah, exactly. You can, of
Okay.
course, drop at the times when I'm trying to stop the cart and somewhat of a choke. I think that's another thing with good on tank. Like here, I can start here, but then the choke goes this way, and you might just find the time to maybe stop the cart in the choke because it's in your favor. Like a lot of times, you guys want to keep stopping that because it gives you big advantage. But yeah, other than that, there's no downside in starting at the top. Yeah, it gives you more
Okay.
options of what to do, and later you can stop the card. Always set up first, stop the card second. Even if you remember, if you've been playing Overwatch, if you play Reinhardt, yeah, you also do the
Mm-hmm.
same. Like a lot of people, they will tell you, you gotta play main lane, but it's not true. Like, even from player's perspective, I'm top 10 Ryan, I never stay on point. I just go somewhere else, take the top, and even though I'm melee character, I use the top as opportunity for me to get information, but most importantly, set up my own pressure. And later, once I do that, then I will drop in the cart and just contest the cart in somewhere like the chokes, sure, or just maybe I will contest it because they gonna cap the points soon, but first you need to solve the map control. Just make sure you have the best position possible for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, solid stuff. I like it.
Yeah. So a lot of people do that, and that's what you would do in Overwatch as well. Like a lot of people sit main, like as Ryan, for example, or this is not good most of the time. You need to set up your pressure. Yeah, for example, Ryan, you would do something like you use your pin and go in, try to just go, try to pin somebody towards your team. Like here, this is more of like a Sigma. The Magneto is more like a Sigma, and you need to constantly apply pressure with your shots, and it's so hard to do because you have those tanks in your face right now. It's just
Yes. They should absorb everything that I want
yeah,
to do.
yeah, because you want to contribute to the kill zone, but there are also other targets for you to shoot.
Yeah.
And see, like the concept, they just have more pressure on you. Why? Because all these brawl capabilities, like Thor and Thing, they will push you out. They just better at
Mm-hmm.
this, but they're not good at poking. Use your range, poke out, and just trade the backlines, it's okay as well, to be honest. Even though they just rush down main, you just kill their backline later and you turn that around. Like you would do on Hulk, right? On Hulk, you don't worry, you don't sit in the choke here a lot of times and you don't just kind of wait for them to take
No,
Yeah, exactly.
no way. I just be just sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So you're trying to set up for the backline war, and it's exactly the same thing. Yeah. Okay. 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 Yeah, the slide angle there. Yeah, might work. So make sure the pressure is constant. Yeah, keep in mind what I'm pressuring. What my attention is at. I think it's gonna be really important. I also would do. Yeah, something like warm up might be good to do on Magneto. I think in general. Do you have any warm up at the moment? Actually.
Not in particular. Like, I'll play around sometimes with going into Kovacs, maybe some aim training, depending on what I feel like I'm going to play that day, or I might just do like a quick match, but nothing too much.
Yeah, I actually think because it's quite mechanical too. You can either do much or practice range, just pick the character and make sure you are you practicing hitting your shots. I can explain real quick what I can focus on. So if I go, there's an arena down there. You can just pick the characters, random characters there. Or again, go do match is also okay. So you press switch. Oh no.
I didn't even know you could drop down there to the
Yeah,
practice range.
yeah. So there's just go the way and then choose the characters you want to practice. You shots around. Maybe Spider-Man, for example. Those are pretty small. You can also just generate type random. Yeah, have this. So yeah, the generating random spots. Random generation range. This is you don't need that static dynamic. You need dynamic movement, so they move more.
Yeah,
And
I've done this before.
yeah,
Random. Yeah, of course.
and
Yeah.
then pick the random. Yeah, exactly. So can
And turn
maybe
off the
set the
timer because I
timer.
hate that shit. Oh, 2 minutes? Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean it doesn't matter. Just for now, for now, yeah. And then you can choose the character you wanna practice, and in here your idea is to just practice your trigger discipline. So if I point at the character and then I click, yeah, and because it's projectile, it's definitely not the easiest, I think, but still you're trying to predict like what their movement looks like, and then you point the crosshair. So I have kind of crosshair really close. I predict, I shoot. I predict, I shoot. Yeah, like this is the practice. You can try
So
to do.
you would say move your aimer onto the target and then away from it because it is going to travel, of course. Or would you suggest
Well,
already just predicting their movement?
you kind of anticipate. So you see, you have the crosshair placement, but it's slightly ahead of where the target's moving.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just not right on the target. Exactly. You need to, like you would do in football, you don't watch the ball moving, but you rather watch the characters moving, see where they're going, so like with their legs, and then you can predict like where do I aim. I see, okay, this guy is gonna like maybe jump to the left, so I aim to the left, or they're gonna jump, let's say, like let's see this again, where like jumping on me. Okay, so that was not accurate, yeah, but maybe like you're just trying to do that constantly, yeah, like see what they're trying to do. This guy moving to the right, yeah, I actually aim to the not to the right, so it's not good. I needed to aim to the left, yeah, and this is how you predict. Like this guy is moving to the right. I tried to anticipate again. It's just I'm not practicing this, yeah, but it's just the more you're gonna practice, the easier it's gonna be for you to like predict and shoot the all of this stuff. And I suggest to not hold your fire, but just click. Practice your trigger discipline. Click, and it's really good if you also try to aim at the bottom, kind of the feet, because what matters is this explosion. You see, like if I hit the explosion. So like this, yeah, this does a lot of damage. Yeah, this is what matters. I don't want to necessarily hit the character directly. A lot of people would aim directly and then they miss the shot. So like
I only do that with the hit scan and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So you can just aim at the feet a little bit more. This helps it a little bit more. Obviously, when they jump, you can try to aim higher, but yeah, it's something you can try to do. Let me see, is there anything else? Yeah, so warm-up is just 15 minutes before the game session. You can do this.
So much.
Well, maybe 10. 10 is okay too.
Yeah.
You can do this, or I usually recommend do match as well, because you can take more frequent duels and actually playing versus...
I don't think I played this game mode once.
Yeah. This is even a better one. So if you're comfortable with practice range, just go the character you want to practice and practice versus real players. There, you can also practice hitting your right clicks, and such. But yeah, this is
Yeah,
what
the
I
right
wanted.
clicks are pretty easy because there I think hit scan pretty much, or almost close to. At least they travel much
Yeah,
faster.
but this is how I want to practice. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
versus real players. I think
I
hitting the
think this would be
shots.
more fun than for me. I think if I'm going to just shoot bots walking around, not as entertaining, but I'll do a bit of both then.
Yeah, so this is good practice. Most of the time should be invested in this. I think 100%, if
More so
possible.
this than the bots, you said, more than
Um,
practice range, or
can you
equal
can
kind
you
of
repeat
bit
that
of both.
again?
Yeah. So would you choose the Doom match over the practice range, shooting the dummies,
Yeah, do
or a
match
bit
is
of
better.
both?
Yeah, do match is better because you are also getting used to situation where you're under pressure. The downside of practicing versus bots or like shooting dots and Kovacs is that those dots are not shooting your back, or like those bots are
Yeah.
not shooting your back. So this is a big downside. And another thing is you're also not using cover too. So I'm thinking, why not to just have more intense practice?
Cool. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. So warm up, Doom match before your game session can be okay. Yeah, do you have any questions about this?
I not about what you just mentioned. No, I do have one question though about what you asked me at the very start of the
Oh yeah.
replay. You said something about I don't recall the question exactly, but something like how does Magneto claim space? And I mentioned like bubble shield and so on, but then you mentioned actually the right click.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah, exactly. The right click, yeah, it's also one more tool, but mostly just use it on, like we did with the Hulk. Remember, you using your E, you just use it on the most active person, and it makes sure
right.
you disrupt them so they just not able to do something on the map. So they use their, for example, somebody uses mobility, Wolverine goes in. Okay, I use the stacks, he's not going in the comfortable way. Yeah, push him out. Or Thor going in. Okay, I'll disrupt them. The stacks you can use those quite frequently once there's an opportunity. Just make sure you use it on this active person, whoever is doing the
Yeah.
most, and it's just our target priority sessions. But yeah, we can elaborate on that if you need. Yeah, because the stacks, I think it's really important too. What you do with those 100%. Mm,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Anything else?
No, no, it was very insightful. I think the realization of what a tank does, like forcing the attention of the enemy,
Yeah.
and you can do that from other places than just sitting in front of your team. That was a
Yeah.
big one for me. So I'm going to be playing a lot with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Okay, so let's then summarize what we got out of today with you. You tell me.
Okay, so number one was then forcing the attention of the enemy rather
Mm-hmm.
than just sitting in the place that you think is important. As long as you're forcing the attention of the enemy, you're probably doing a good job. So focus on that. Then you said in terms of target priority is really do try and pick one target that you're firing at. Don't switch back and forth between say a penny and then an invisible girl. Either focus the penny or focus the invisible girl, and try to force things actively, whether it's a spell or an ultimate. And then you mentioned so that's the second
Mm-hmm.
thing, and the third thing would be for Magneto specifically is use your ultimate to get either deeper angles or better setups and give your team space. Just use it more proactively.
Yeah, exactly. You just if I have my resources, you have bubbles, the shield, all of that allows you to take space. And remember, even your ultimate can allow you to take more aggressive position. You can just take those sometimes positions which you never have accessible on Magneto, like verticality on some maps. It's just you never can get on top of the roofs, but you can do it if you have the ultimates. So this is gonna
Yeah,
be important. Okay. What else?
that's pretty much all I had, at least, or at least that I remember.
Yeah.
I might have forgotten a few things.
I
So
think
if I did, please remind me. But I think that was it, pretty much.
Yeah, I think it's good enough. Yeah, we talked about baiting their attention, baiting their cooldowns. Keep in mind what you're trying to force. I think this can help you a lot. I'm just gonna keep this note. Their pressure. What do I force? Need to be more consistent pressure. Let's put it this way. Yeah, we just
Yeah,
constantly shoot one target, trying to have that, and the setup is gonna be verticality, long range if possible on off angles. This can help you with the better positioning. Okay. Do you have any final questions about anything then?
No, I'm good. I would just say probably like in regards to the coaching, since this is my